Shut up and watch an advertisement. Unless I guess this is ever on YouTube. Apparently YouTube's giving me some trouble. It's not letting me upload things right now, which is totally annoying. But what can you do? Kerbal Space Academy is about to begin. We're going to let it spool up for just a couple. Nice. Jump in 5, 4, 3. Bad countdown there, Iconic Wake. What is going on? I'm Das Valdez. It's very quiet here. It's very quiet here. Let's fix that right quick. We can do something about that. Oh no, it's going to go somewhere else. There we go. That's cool. Excellent. All right, there we go. That's good at least. Dude, Taxaws, what's up? Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to Kerbal Space Academy. Here's your host, Das. Why are there so many S's? Valdez. Oh, man. Sunday. Meow, meow. With special guest performance by Limousine. Ah, yeah, I do have a collared shirt today. Yeah. Jeez. Ah. All right. Yeah. Nice, Zeb. Thank you for that introduction there, Gav. I really appreciate it. Oh, my gosh. All right, that's chat. I'm Das. I didn't even have the game open yet. That's because I'm full screen. What can you do? I wonder if it's a bad idea to attach a tax self-destruct to orange tanks. It sounds like a great idea. Why would you not want tanks to explode? It doesn't make any sense as to why you wouldn't want those things to just randomly explode. You should add the dang it mod, right? And the exploder, the self-destruct mod. I wish the self-destruct module could have problems that would cause it to randomly self-destruct. That would be awesome. Plars. The pants! Let's see the pants! I totally have my blue jeans on. Totally have blue jeans on. What can I do? Let's get ready to bumble. That's awesome. Dude, hi Kiba. KSP. I know how to pronounce your name. Are you following the filet? No-go sequences. No, Casper, I'm not. I am looking at it tomorrow when it lands, but I'm not following it right now. I've got to go to... Yeah, post up a link. That's a good idea. Post up a link. I don't have any food, though. I already ate. Casper, sorry to disappoint, but I already ate dinner. I had some mac and cheese for dinner. Delicious. All right. We've got that. There's that. Then we can go to here. Where is the game even at? I don't know. Why don't I just stream Skype or something? That'll be an interesting thing to stream. Instead of this, games. There we go. I'll just talk about missions on Skype and like show screenshots, and that's what we'll do. This one time, I totally flew this rocket, and it was awesome. Just finished training. Good time to join the stream, dude. EK Mavericks. That's awesome. That is awesome. I'm having Subway for dinner. Bug mints. What's going on? Let's see who gets here early, right? Let's see who got here early while we let the stream spool up. You know what I do? I always start the stream and I let it run for a couple minutes. Just so that people can get here and that sort of stuff. Oh, am I supposed to wear these? I don't know. Should I put these on? Nah, they're too distracting today. I need some that are like non-reflective on the front, which doesn't make any sense for sunglasses. But I'm going to have the game starting up like that. I mean the teaching. I'm going to have the teaching apparatus start up, not the game. See how I got all white? Apparently that's the game lighting up my face by the light of the console. It's like angels. I love that. Gene, what's up? Glad you could make it. Did we? Yeah, we updated the channel title. Is the channel title good? What? Dude, Taxaws, you timed that exactly correct. You timed that. The second that showed up in chat, it also showed up in the tip stream. The tip thing. Now the question is, do I have the tip thing? Oh no. No, I don't have it on here. Oh, it doesn't actually display on my full screen. Dude, Taxaws. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. You timed it exactly right. It appeared in chat. You're like, why wait for the show to begin? I was like, what is he talking about? And then all of it goes off in my ears. Thank you for that. I say F5 for safety. Thank you, Taxos. You were so consistent. What'd you say? Got more money than I expected? So more money to the no-kill nodes campaign. The no-kill nodes campaign. I will release some nodes to pasture. I will send them to the farm in your name tonight. Quite a few nodes, actually, for that donation, so I appreciate it. I totally appreciate it. Did it pop up? I don't actually know. The donation notify thing is here. Does it pop up on my full screen thing, or do I have it layered incorrectly? I didn't get it. I didn't see over there. I didn't see the title's correct. Yes, the title says Planning Interplanetary Return Mission to Eve. Everybody keeps telling me to do it. I'm not skipping frames. Are y'all skipping frames? Taxos, thank you again. That is a great way to start off a stream. That's an absolutely great way. It popped up. Oh, okay. I just didn't have it. It was just down at a different place. I gotcha. I gotcha. None here. Earthworm Slim! Take a nap, Slim. You've been streaming a lot lately, dude. Slim! Where is my thingy? Where is my chat? Why is my chat not up? That's a little weird. There we go. There's my chat up right there. Earthworm Slim. You've been playing a lot of that RoboCraft thing lately, haven't you? You must... It seems like there's a really cool community over there, and you play with a bunch of users and stuff. That game looks like a lot of fun. That looks really cool, Slim. That RoboCraft game is treating you very well, I think. If anybody wants to see World of Tanks with Legos where you get to build your own tank slash plane slash crawler creepy shooting mabobber thingy, whatever it's called, Slim has been playing that a lot lately, and it looks like a lot of fun. I always end up over there off and on, off and on. I always end up at streams, Slim's stream at the end. RoboCraft is a fun game, and it looks like there's a lot of cool people that kind of play it. Apparently in the past, there were like some like lame hackers and that sort of stuff, and apparently they got that cleaned up. It's good. You play it yourself as a tier 4 dude destroyer, James. You should follow Earthworm Slim, who's just up the channel there, and you should go play with him sometimes. You can play with him sometimes. Ooh, what is this, help desk? Jeez. Yes, this is the KSP control tower. It's the VAB behind me. Where do you think I would sit? In my bedroom? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, the idea. Check it out. There is a great cheat sheet. And in fact, I can actually show it to you on the game as well. Let's see here. The DV chart. Yeah, let me actually start the game up. Let's go to the right scene over here. Game KSP. Excellent. I'm much smaller now. Much higher resolution when I'm much smaller too. You'll pull a random Kerbal off the chat and put them in the pod. That's what usually happens. That's what usually happens. You're not kidding. Resume saved. We're definitely going to go for the boot camp save. That one right there. To go to Eve. There you go. Check out Earthworm Slim. Optimarad. What's going on? Opti, me red. Did you change the capitalization of your name? Need to take a nap. Been spending all day making YouTube videos for RoboCraft Tier 4, Tier 6 craft. Dude, Slim, that's awesome. That's awesome. Slim actually has people play with him all the time in his channel. So you should totally, if you play RoboCraft, you should totally follow old Slim there and go play with him. Go play with Slim on the RoboCraft when he wakes up. If he wakes up, apparently. Slim, just leave your volume on really loud on my TeamSpeak, and I'll come and be like, Slim, wake up! In TeamSpeak. Just mute everything except TeamSpeak, and I'll come wake you up. Tell me what time you want a wake-up call from Kerbal Concierge Academy here. Alright, I think we're good. I missed a couple things. I didn't kill any Kerbals. Remember, they're Cylons in my world. Alright, let's see here. I think I missed... Okay, there was Texas. We got that. Okay, we got that. Dude, Texas, thank you again. Oh, Kithakor was here too. Kithakor, you asked me a question the other day, and I feel like I feel like I didn't answer the question. I remember seeing the question go by. I feel like I remember that I was going to go back to it, and then I feel like I never actually got back to your question. What was your question, Kithakor? Upload something. You wanted me to upload something, didn't you? I could not figure out which craft you were asking me to upload. A craft that I designed during KSA. That narrows it down a lot. I'm kidding. Absolutely knackered and achy. When's the next time I'll do a rendezvous training? Lozmaki. Maybe we'll need to do some rendezvous tonight. I don't know. We're going to Eve. I am going to do a rendezvous tonight because I'm going to have a mothership in orbit around Eve, and I'm going to have a launcher that takes off from the surface and has a rendezvous with a mothership. So we're definitely going to do that. That's going to take a little while, though. That's going to take a little while. We are going to Eve today, EK Mavericks. What's up, Destroyer James? It showed up at the bottom. Okay, cool. It popped up. Excellent. Thank you, Gavin Kaikiba. How did the rover end up last night? Oh my gosh, the rover was freaking so cool, EK Mavericks. The Scooty Puff was going all over Duna. The freaking paper airplane was flying all over Duna. It was good times. Lowe's McPhee, I will do a rendezvous tonight, but I'm not going to do rendezvous drills. I will do rendezvous drills for you sometime this week. Previous recording. You got the cheat sheet, didn't you, Istia? You totally got the cheat sheet. Here, I'll open it up for you. Because we're going to need to start this mission with the cheat sheet. So let me use my... There you go. If you Google KSP Subway, this is the first link that's going to come up. This is actually the cheat sheet, the Istia, right here. Understand Delta V and why you need it. However, I don't understand how much you need for different situations. This right here is basically like a shopping list. It tells you how much it's going to cost you, or a subway map, I guess, how much it's going to cost you to go from point A to point B. For example, if you're going from low Kerbal orbit to low moon orbit, you can see you need 860 plus 210. So you need about 1070 to get from LKO to lunar orbit. If you want to go out to Minmus, you can see you can need 920 plus 80, so about 1,000 to get out to Minmus. What else? You can go out to Eve, which we're going to be looking at. You can go to Jewel. You basically add up all the numbers. So 950 plus 110 will get you to Duna, plus another 370 will circularize you. And remember, some planets have atmospheres where you can aero break or aero cap, right? You can actually get some of the Delta V for your trip out of the atmosphere by dipping down into it, as long as you're not using deadly reentry. We did that last night when we took the Winnebago to Duna. So, if you've got a little arrow like that on this chart, that means that you can aero brake there. You don't actually have to spin the Delta V to circularize, you can just aero brake to do it. Which is awesome. So, Istia, hope that answers your question. Let's see here. Optimarad with the new capitalization. There you go. There was a link to Slim, which is awesome. Get some sleep, Slim. You're doing that. You should totally do it. 9:40 p.m. All right, chat. Slim needs a wake-up call at 9:40 p.m. my time. Slim, that's coming up in 2 hours and about 10 minutes. 2 hours and 13 minutes, actually. You want to be woken up at 9:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. p.m. Have my TeamSpeak going. I'll come into my TeamSpeak at 9:40 p.m. and we will give you a shout-out on TeamSpeak. I will totally wake you up, Slim. I'll totally wake you up. Can't sleep, so put DOS on. I can't sleep, so I stream. So what can you do? You did, mostly for the English speakers so they can say Opti. Sounds less awkward. Oh, well, I always call you Optimarad. Was that correct? Opti? What's up, Opti? I'll try to remember that. The recoverable lifter. Oh, the recoverable lifter, Kithakor. The recoverable lifter. Ah, yes, the economic one. Since I messed up, since I did not do that yesterday, since I could not remember that, Kithakor, I'm going to do that for you right now. I will do that for you right now. I knew that you needed me to do something, and I couldn't remember what it was you wanted me to upload. So that was in the Career Kickstart, I know. Ships, VAB, the less SSTOR, I think it was. Yeah, the less SSTOR. That was it right there. Let me upload this to Kerbal X right now for you. I do apologize. I could not remember what it was that I was supposed to do. www.kerbalx.com. Kerbalx.com. K-Space Academy. Upload craft. All right, crash a file there. So there's the less SSTOR. Kithakor, could you do me a huge favor? Could you load it up and take a screenshot that I can add to it? Because I don't have a screenshot right now. But... There, lifter. That's amazing. Yes. This will be KSA lifter, and it'll be what else should I call it? KSA lifter, SSTO. That's fine. $sign. It's a $sign to orbit apparently. I can't do that at all. Kithakor, I apologize. I could not remember. I couldn't figure out which craft it was. But right now, it's uploaded to Kerbal X, and that stands for any of my Kerbal X craft. Anything that I've got uploaded to Kerbal X. I have this saved. This is what I'm doing. Anything I've got uploaded to Kerbal X, if you load it up and you go take some screenshots someplace awesome, take some awesome screenshots, post some curls, whatever you want to do, if you send them to me, I'll update Kerbal X and I'll give you a shout out on Kerbal X for helping me put screenshots up. Because a lot of times it takes some time to do, but there is the lifter for you from the lifter efficiency screws session. Yeah, exactly. Alright, so let's do view. Let's do that. So Kithakor, here is the craft for you. Right here, the SSTO lifter. Right there. I apologize again, I could not figure out which craft you were talking about. I remember it scrolling by, but it scrolled off the buffer before I could do it. So, what else do we have? Have I ever done a KSA on monitoring and improving game performance? I've never done that, Cantap. I've talked about how to see if you're getting physics lag or not, right? By looking at the missions lap time, see if it's going yellow or red or something like that. So that's kind of monitoring. But I've never really done a KSA on monitoring it. I think I may have to do a little bit more research on that before I actually do a stream like that. Monitoring and improving game performance. Mine works fine, so I don't really know, right? A lot of the things that you may have to do that. But that's something we can talk about. I'll have to do some brainstorming on it. Mono Bobby, what's going on? You didn't miss the start ride car. Remember, we're spooling up. We're spooling up. Euro Truck multiplayer. Yes, it is, isn't it? Heike Mouse will be right back. Need to check on your lovely wife. That's cool. That's cool. J-Dude, what's up? Suppressor made it back. What is going on? There's the cheat sheet. The min-miss typo. Wait, where? Where did I say? Did I say min-miss typo somewhere, or is it on here? Minimus. You're right, it has no I in it. It's just min-miss. Min-miss. Since I plan on start streaming, I might as well make it easy for people to pronounce my name. Opti. That's a good short name, Opti, like DOS, right? Nobody has to say DOS, well, they said DOS. They don't know what they're talking about. Nightbot's skulking tonight. No, is Nightbot working? Nightbot was definitely working earlier. Yeah, there's Nightbot. I'm currently wrecked, not wrecked. Okay, it just all came down at a sudden. Scroll down, chat. Yep, I'm reading this. I'm reading this. T-Game, I don't like that cheat sheet as much. Oh, no, wait, no, that isn't. That's the other one. That's the other one. I thought you were going to post the other one. That is actually pretty. I do like that one. I think it's a little bit more difficult to read and stream, right? So I can't really use it, but that is a good one, too. Let me actually save that. And let me see if there's some way. That's a really nice one, too. I thought you were going to post up the one where it doesn't actually add it up for you, and that is pretty annoying to me. This is going to be a fancy cheat sheet. There we go. Fancy cheat sheet. Done. All right. Thank you for that. Now I can close that as well. All right. What else? I'm just answering all the questions. I'm so excited that you got to be a Kerbal. Dude, Rutnut, you're sitting on Duna right now. You're totally sitting on Rutnut. Servers on high loads. I don't doubt that. Add up the yep, Mona Bobby, that's correct. You have to add up the Delta V for your return trip as well, and remember that you can aero brake on the inbound trip as well. ATM even on a stock install if you're having graphical issues. Yes, ATM is active texture management, which helps compress the textures. So a little bit longer load time, or a little bit longer load time, but a little bit less memory used if you use that active texture management, like Gav was talking about right there. That's what ATM stands for. I use it. I have it installed. Let's see here. Recommend DDS loader. Huh. I don't know. I'd have to. I don't know. I've only other reviews. Dude, washproof. I have some more feedback for you. I have some more feedback. Basically, the letters KSA can go. What's up, washproof? There's a screenshot from Kithcore. Excellent. Made another ship yesterday. Took off another ship. Orbiting clashed with it. Doesn't sound good. That's actually really hard to do. Remember me from this morning. I missed you. Sandman, I missed you too. Sir Derp 4. Sir Derp the 4th. Did you add the Winnebago? You're clearly a Game of Thrones fan with spelling Sir that way. I would say. Maybe some other books that I don't know also spell it the same way. Did I add the Winnebago? No, the lifter still needs to get some work. The lifter on the Winnebago needs some work, and I haven't had time to do that. When did this start? I never got the email. That's why we give it some time to spool up. That's why we give it some time to spool up. See the space station on Duna from a few days ago. The space station on Duna from a few days ago. What are you talking about? KVV, the vessel viewer. If somebody wants to send me vessels with made out of KVV, that's cool. But I don't really have the time to use it to generate that stuff. All right, did I miss anything else? What is the graphic in the middle of the Delta V map? It's a walrus, I think, Drugger. I think it's a walrus. I think it's the guy who made it. I don't know. There's no name or anything on there, but it's a walrus icon. That's all I can tell you. Darth Andrea made it. Dead Wizard Cobbler, Shimmy the JJ, Long Dark Cooking. Me and Shimmy are going to start a Long Dark Cooking stream. Is Nubius here? We're just going to like cook recipes that you can make out of ingredients you find in the Long Dark, like wolf souffle and the Dead Wizard Cobbler and that sort of stuff. Dude, Shimmy, welcome. I actually may need some help tonight. This is going to be a rough mission. Folks, Shimmy the JJ is another KSP TV streamer. Not just KSP TV, but all sorts of cool stuff. We've done some Minecraft stuff together. I follow the Shimmy JJ. I like to hang out on his channel when I'm not streaming. So there you go. Follow old Shimmy. Thank you for dropping by, Shimmy. When you have does fit on the stream, but it lacks a degree of detail. I don't think so, because we just need it for basic information, right? We just need it for basic information. Can you aero brake? Yes or no? How much Delta V? Yes or no? Really, remember, I try to keep it simple. I don't want to give people too much informational overload and intimidate them with the game. That other one's really awesome, but I'd really rather use a simple one. This is kind of like the KSA first grade version of the Delta V. Look at the nice bright primary colors that are easy. They draw the eye. They keep your attention, right? As opposed to a wall of text and graphics that you have to scroll down. I'm just giving you trouble. I'm just giving you trouble. 26 hours? Dude, text house is almost as much as me. Alright. Didn't get an email. Yeah, you just lurked. You're welcome to hang out here all the time. I mean, there's always people here answering questions and stuff. What part of my flag? Just like what part of it? Jay the Fox, I am continuing to work on flags. I'm continuing to work on flags, and I appreciate the MS Paint flag you sent me. It definitely made me smile, so thank you for sending me that. Rollo, what's up? Okay. Did I miss anything else? Tarling! You need to make Kerbal pancakes. And Cybertech's here too. Guys, this is so awesome. You got the email 10 minutes ago, says Taxaws. Hi, Kibo wants a wolf burger. Here is, I'll do it myself. I'll beat all the mods to it. There's some Cybertech hype. Dude, Cybertech, thank you for dropping by again. We're going to be relying heavily on Kerbal Engineer tonight because we are going to attempt to plan an Eve mission. Going to Eve. Guys, give Cybertech some love. Cybertech is the creator, the maker, the maintainer, the small god of Kerbal Engineer, Redux, Redo, however you pronounce that. Thank you. Immortal Rich. What's up, Immortal Rich? It's been a while. Nox Fuchs also. Alright, I've caught up with chat. So let's go ahead and do this. Chat. Wait. Meet chat beacon. It did, dude. Jade the Fox, it totally made me smile. In fact, I think what I may do one week is have like a loser flag week. Yes. All of my losers who always hang out on the channel. Sorry about that. A user flag week. A viewer flag week where I actually fly the flags that users send me. That would probably be a pretty cool thing. Finished Winnebago. Yeah, Sir Derp, we actually took the Winnebago out to Duna with 2 rovers and a paper airplane on top of it. Can you explain aerobraking? We get to that point. Sir Derp, absolutely. We'll be going to Eve. We'll be relying heavily on aerobraking. Ah, yes. Delay updating cancels a release. Alright. Okay, I typically delay updating KSP, that's what I understand, until there is a release of the latest KER. You and me both. I played the demo the other day, and I could barely play the game. I could barely play the game without all the information that Cybertech's Kerbal Engineer gives me. Immortal Rich, on the schedule today, it says in the channel title, we're going to try to go to Even back. Even back. What is Spartan? What? Spartan bot, huh? I am here, but I'm removing a smoking screen from a netbook. That doesn't sound any fun. Nobody ever hands me a beer, though. Jeez. Well, what do I have to do? I have to break the screen on something in order to get a beer? Folks, we need to get started with Kerbal Space Academy. If you don't know me, I'm Das Valdez. If it's the first time you've come to my channel, welcome. I talk a lot. I answer a lot of questions, and I read my chat a lot. Because what I do is Kerbal Space Academy. I actually try to make the game less confusing and less intimidating for people. Because you see so many people doing awesome things like going to Eve, right? And it's hard. It is hard mode to go to Eve, but it's not impossible for anybody to go to Eve. If you know what the numbers mean, if you know the challenges that you're going to have to overcome, you can get to Eve, you can land on Eve, and you can take off from Eve. It's basically one of the end game things for KSP. Land and take off of Tylo, land and take off of Eve are some of the hardest things to do in the game. So, with Kerbal Space Academy, what I do is I try to go in depth on some of these things, and tonight we'll be doing 2 things. A mission that goes to another planet and returns home, and a mission that lands on Eve and takes back off safely with a Kerbal. That is what we're going to be looking at tonight. So, I've got a lot of requests for those. That is what I'm going to focus on. But since we're in Kerbal Academy mode, Kerbal Space Academy, I am streaming on, yes, okay, I'm not on KSP TV or anything. What we're going to do is have chat participate and help me out. I'm going to be over here. I'm the guy with the mic and the camera. I talk a lot. But I'm going to need chat to help me out. So, if you have a good idea, if you see something that I've missed, like, dude, Dust, you idiot, you totally forgot to put batteries on there, or you have no way to get power, or whatever, that ladder is blocking the Kerbal getting out of the pod or something, tell me. And what you need to do is get my attention. You can do that in chat. Chat is going off the hook. I see it scrolling in the corner of my eye. What you can do, you can say the word DOS. You'll be like, DOS, dude, you totally forgot a battery. You need a battery. That'll highlight it in red on the channel like you see scrolling by. And on occasion, I'll scroll through. Sometimes I'll catch it in real time. Not always, though. Usually not. Sometimes I'll catch it in real time. Sometimes I will not. But on occasion, I will scroll back to chat. and I will read those things. In addition, if you have any questions, if you want to know why I did something, it's like, dude, why did you use that engine? That doesn't make any sense. I always use this engine. Say, I have a question in chat. Why did you use that engine? That'll highlight it in red just the same. And on occasion, with Kerbal Space Academy, that is what I do. I will scroll back through, and I will answer the questions for you. I love to do that on my stream. That's what I want to do. Dude, Meatbait, what's going on? Swimming made it as well. I'll scroll back to the chat in just a minute. I just noticed over. Epic Pants, 76, welcome. I just got going with this stream. I'm going to do a return mission to Eve, to the surface of Eve. It's been a while since I've done it. It was like 0.21 or something, 0.22, I don't remember. It's been quite a few parts added since then, so I'm going to be trying to use some of the new parts. I've never made this rocket before. Remember how I do it. I don't practice these things in advance. I'm going to build live on the stream right now a rocket that can get us to Eve, a ship that can get us to Eve. Who knows? We may have to do multiple launches. We may have to refuel it. I don't even know. But we're going to build a ship that can get us to Eve, has something that can land on the surface and get back up. I'm going to do it live. I don't have a script. I'm making it all up as I go. I'm going to mess things up. If I mess something up, chat can help me out, right? Because we're all in this together. If I miss something, say, Das, dude, you totally forgot this, or you're not thinking about this, or whatever. Because I do appreciate chat helping me out. But I have not practiced this whatsoever. It's not like a YouTube video where I spend 20 hours getting this awesome rocket, and then I go and I like have this edited video on YouTube, and then it goes the first time, and I look like a total cool person, right? That's not what I do. I'm going to mess things up. Because that's what you're going to do when you're playing the game, right? The game's like about science. It's like guess, test, and revise. It's like you got to figure things out. You know the numbers. Maybe it's going to work. Maybe the rocket's going to explode. Maybe not. I don't know. But things may go wrong, and we'll fix them. Remember, all my Kerbals are Cylon. As long as they're in the Kerbin system, they can be regenerated. So if I put you in a ship and I kill you, don't worry. You'll wake up in a vat of goo, naked. With other Kerbals comforting you, saying it's okay, and we'll put you right back in a rocket and we'll kill you again. So that is also thank you so much for letting me do this. Whoa, time out. Hang on. Meatbait was streaming Long Dark? You were streaming Long Dark? I'm going to follow you. I didn't see you in the list or else I would have come over there. I am going to follow you. Das, I would like you to know mission reports. So thanks to you, I just finished my first stream. Massive thanks. Was playing the Long Dark. Dude, Meatbait, I'll totally toss you a follow and I'll totally come and play some Long Dark or watch you play some Long Dark sometimes. That sounds amazing. Thank you for doing that. All right. Okay. Chat just scrolled a lot. We need to do this mission to Eve. I just gave the KSA introduction. Remember, welcome to Kerbal Space Academy. I'm Das Valdez. I'm doing this live. I don't have a script. I'm making it up as I go. I'm going to mess up. I need your help to get my attention. Say Das or say question. You can ask me questions and I'll answer them. Or you can say Das and I will read what you said. Please don't abuse it. I really love having that in my channel. I think it adds a lot to be able to focus on certain things. I love it that chat can help me out, but please don't abuse it. Don't just be like, Das, notice me, senpai, Das. Right? Don't do that. That's not cool. That's not cool. Seems like I uploaded the wrong ship. Which wrong ship? If I got 3K follows, 24-hour stream? Not for 3K. Maybe for more. Alright, my text is read. Yes, thank you, Photon Man. Music is a bit distracting. Okay, I'll buy that. I will buy that. We were just kind of getting it streamed up. Let me do this. Let me scroll through this. I'm missing some follows as well, so let's get the followers. It was DinoMan826, BZ614, Cam Davies 00 with an S in there as well. Goalie 12 and Invader Spleen. Invader Spleen? What does that mean? I love some of the Twitch names that come through. Invader Spleen. Is that like Invader Zim, but with a spleen running around instead of Zim? That was an awesome thing, by the way. Alright, let's see here. Let me see here. It isn't a lifter? The SSTO-R, what did I just miss? Kithakor. Oh no, I uploaded the wrong one. What did I upload? It's missing the lifter from the bottom of it. I'll fix the music. I'll fix the music. Alright, let me do that. I uploaded the wrong craft. Seriously? The music is at the same level it always is, but I will turn it down just a little bit. Is that good? Tell me if the music is good starting now. Dude, Boggy1234 and Cagnito. Welcome to Kerbal Space Academy. I'm Dos Valdez. We're going to be planning a return mission to Eve. So we're going to Eve. We're going to land on Eve. We're going to take back off. We're going to rendezvous with the mothership. We are going to come back here. That is what we are doing tonight. Alright. Sending some Dr. Pepper. Lego Studios, I usually don't use the Dr. Pepper can in Kerbal Space Academy sessions. It's few and far between. Few and far between. Let me do this. I'm just going to put right here a chat beacon. I'm going to see if I missed anything important, and then we're going to get to building this ship. I am going to have to look at that thing. I would have to open the other save and that sort of stuff. Kithakor, could you please send me a Twitch message reminding me that when I'm done with the stream to upload that craft? Because I don't want to pause right now and try to go find it. I grabbed the one that was named SSTOR. I hope I didn't miss it. I hope I didn't lose that rocket. But if somebody could send me a message about that. That would be awesome. Let me see here. Alright. We are definitely going to walk through that chart. Thank you, Kithakor. I bungled that up. I grabbed the one that had the right name, but it looks like I didn't save it correctly. Alright. Let me do this. Let me find beacon. I just said the word beacon. That's not the same as pressing find beacon. That's dumb, DOS. There we go. And then it found the one I just typed. Alright. Only some hours ago you work on your coffee. Okay, DOS looking forward to the Finis Winnebago. Yes, I will, Sir Derp. I will explain arrow braking when we get to Eve. What's tonight's schedule, DOS? Okay, we're going to Eve. Alright, we got all this. Dr. Pepper only. Easiest way to do a Eve science mission. Oh, don't tell me what to do, Darth Andrew. You're always like, oh, here's what you should do, like off the top of my head. Don't give me like a pre-designed rocket. I will read it, though. Do a Eve science mission is with a ship based around a rocket-powered plane that you can land, then use to SSTO back into Eve orbit. Also, landing on an area that is 7 kilometers helps as well. Gotcha. Thank you for all the information. When we get into the mission requirements, do some of those things. Don't do the entire rocket. But I know that landing high is important, right? I know landing high is important. So maybe having some probes to find a high landing spot is good. SSTO, a rocket-powered plane. Yeesh. That'll take a lot of time to build. We will get into some of those mission requirements, though. Thanks, Darth. You were challenging and very good for getting an intuitive feel of building flying space place. Oh. Gotcha. Single stage to even back. Cybertech. If you're making any sort of rocket, name it Veterans Eve. That would have been last night. But, J-Dude, that is a good idea. Folks, today in the United States was Veterans Day. And if anybody in the chat is veteran, ex-military, etc., I totally appreciate you. Kerbal Space Academy, name I use, appreciate you. I really do appreciate what you guys do for us. I know you guys get a lot of beef from some people. You're not going to get beef from me. I really appreciate you, what you do. So thank you very much. Happy Veterans Day. Sad Veterans Day sometimes too, right? But I really do appreciate you, and thank you for hanging out, and thank you for doing what you do. That was good, dude. J-Dude, thank you for reminding me. That maybe there's something, maybe we can come up with some sort of tie-in to the mission. Must be protected from the terrible secret of space. Don't know what that is. There's the question thing. Swimming72, what's up? Oshatzel, back. Lego Studios, hello. DOS, I uploaded the wrong one. I'm so sorry, Kithakor. Have a question. How far away is Eve from the moon? It depends, Immortal Rich. They're in orbits, and the distance, as the crow fly distance changes. As the Kraken flies, I guess you could say. Dave Ryder's here. I must make some Dr. Pepper cans. I'm not going to take them to Eve. There was the stream. I remember seeing that. Welcome to Kerbal Space Academy with DOS Valdez, where the ships are made up and the rocket science doesn't matter. DOS, I can't wait to be killed. Nice. Sandman, use some odd part that you don't use in most builds, please. We'll see if there's anything like that. I usually try to give love to some of the less used parts. First, all you need is a rocket that has thrust weight of 1, and then it can be... and that can deliver 12K. That will be my lander. Yes, I know. You can add info to the name of the craft, such as your custom commands. I don't know what that means, Thader. Info to the name of the craft, such as your custom commands. I don't know what that means. So, by this chart, Lucifer, Lord of Light, we will get to that. That's a great segue. How far am I from the chat beacon? Yes. Oh, and you only have to say it once, guys. Remember, I do go through the chat on occasion, so you don't have to say it twice. Is the music good now? I've probably said something about that. Good. All right, now that it's good. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I'm starting to see a lot of questions. Shimmy! Gotta go do things. Shimmy, thanks again for hanging out. We'll see you next time. Glad I caught that one. I am going to take my paper plane to Eve. I am going to make a paper plane to Eve. So let's see here. I've gotten back down to my chat beacon. You guys have chatted things off the chain. Let's start looking at this Eve return mission, right? And we're going to start with what I've got on the screen right now, the Delta V subway map. That is where we're going to start. After I drink some Dr. Pepper, because I just talked for a long time. All right. Okay. Music is fine. Thank you. I already did the beacon. As long as it's only mods that can do the beacon. I do have a Dr. Pepper. All right. Let's have a look at this chart. So you've seen the subway chart before, right? I used the subway chart to explain how much delta V we need to get from point A to point B. We're just going to assume that whatever we build gets into orbit, right? We'll build a lifter to get into orbit. We'll refuel it in orbit, whatever, right? So I'm not going to worry about the Kerbal to LKO segment down here. Oh, too much Dr. Pepper there. Kerbal to LKO I'm not going to worry about. What I need to worry about is getting to Eve, right? Getting to Eve, making orbit around Eve, landing on Eve, and coming back up again. So of those things, some of them are easy. Getting to Eve, not so difficult. The most difficult part of the Eve mission is returning from Eve. And why? Look at that number right there. That is a high number. In fact, that is the highest number on this entire chart anywhere. I don't see anything else. Lathe 2800, 2500 for a pole intercept, 2600 to get to Joule. That is the highest number on a 4500 to get out of Kerbal. To get off the surface of Eve, costs you 12,000 meters per second of delta V. And why? Because the atmosphere is ridiculous. The atmosphere is terrible. The engines aren't efficient. It's just all around bad. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, there's totally a box down there. I use that box all the time. I guess I didn't stream it out very much. Yeah, I'll catch it later. The most difficult part of the Eve mission is getting off the surface of Eve. Landing is easy. Take a shoot or two, and you're good to go with a landing, right? You're totally good to go with the landing. Because the atmosphere on Eve is so dense. I don't know on what factor, right, compared to Kerbal. But the atmosphere of Eve is so dense that when you land on it, it's very hard to get back out of it. You need 12,000, not 1,200, 12,000 meters per second of delta V to get off the surface of Eve. Landing's easy. Landing's easy. So, it's like flying through chicken noodle soup. It's like flying through beef stew. I trolled you. I don't even know what that means. What does that mean? I didn't troll you. How did I troll you? Monev. What does that even mean? Alright, going up is optional. Going up is hard. Coming down is easy. Eve has a much... Yeah. No, okay, guys, here, let me make sure. It's not 12,000 to get into Eve orbit. It is only 1,300 to get into Eve orbit, and you can aerobrake at Eve. You can totally aerobrake at Eve. So, what we're going to do here is get into Eve orbit, and going from low Eve orbit down to Eve and back up again costs 12,000. It actually costs more than that. It costs just a little bit to get in the atmosphere, and then the atmosphere will actually bring you down. So going down is easy, right? Getting down to the surface is totally easy. Getting from the surface back up again is what's hard, because we're going to have to design a craft. Let's add the numbers up. To go from LKO to Eve orbit is 950 plus 80. Just call that 1,000 plus 1310. It's about 2350. I would call it. I added 950 to 80 to 1310. Call it 2,500, right? Close enough. Just call it 2,500. You Dolphin kicked it all the way up to 9 kilometers up at... what? Wait a second. I just spent half an hour trying to fly this thing SSTO. I told you that we were looking for volunteers to test to see if it goes to SSTO, right? But when we took it into space, we actually launched it on the back of a rocket. So I take it won't go SSTO, Monev, because I know if anybody could get that paper airplane to get into space, it would be you. It would totally be you. You just spent 30 minutes flying it up. If anybody could make that thing go SSTO, it would be Monev. It would be Monev. So let's see here. Let's see here. I am not reading chat as much. I'll come back. I'll come back. It's going to cost us about 2,500 meters per second of delta V to get to Eve from low Kerbal orbit, not including getting into orbit around Kerbal, right? It is then going to cost us not very much delta V to get down into Eve's atmosphere and land somewhere. And then to get from Eve back into orbit again is going to cost us 12,000. So, getting to Eve, not so difficult. We can do that. Not much more than going to Duna or wherever. Elu, it's really not that much more difficult than going to any of the other planets. What is difficult about this mission is getting a Kerbal down to the surface to do a little Kerbal jig in the Eve surface, atmosphere, whatever, and then get him back up to the ship so he can come home. So that's what we're going to be looking at. That is what we're going to be looking at. Dino Man, I am going to go with a rocket lifter tonight. I am going to go, I may take a plane there and we'll see how it performs, but I am going to go with a lifter. Some people, you can also make a game, or you can make a game. You can also make a plane, but I'm not going to be using Hyperhead and I'm not going to be cheating or anything like that. I am just going to make a rocket that we hope can get us back off of Eve. Let's see what we've got here. Let's see what we've got here. I need to begin by making the Eve lander. I need to begin by making the Eve lander, and that's what we have to do. What we have to do. That's delicious. Let's know that Eve is going to take 12,000. That's a nice, easy number to remember. So we need to build something that has 12,000 meters per second of delta V when on Eve. So let's get started with that. Press A, backslash. Where's Kerbal Engineer? Why didn't it come up? Oh, because you have to put a pod down. Okay, we're definitely not taking that. The number one thing that you need to start with is building light. You want a very light payload for getting off the surface of Eve. A very light payload. So, what we are going to do is start looking at pods. We're always starting to use this pod, and I'm going to start to build with this pod on purpose. Okay, I'm going to start with this on purpose. It's not the pod we're going to use, make no mistake. Because this pod right here weighs 0.84, right? And this pod right here weighs 0.66. So maybe instead of this one, I should just start with this one. And we will definitely investigate better ways to do this. But this is the lightest pod we've got, 0.66 per Kerbal. In fact, we could go around, we could look at this guy, the Mark II lander can. This thing needs to be fixed actually, because it's 2.66 and it carries 2 Kerbals. So 2.66 divided by 2, that's 1.33 per Kerbal. That's a lot of tonnage to get a single Kerbal down, 1.33. This one right here is 0.66 per Kerbal. This one right here is 0.84 per Kerbal. What else do we have? That's 1 per Kerbal, 1.28 per Kerbal. This one is 3, so this is greater than 1 per Kerbal. This right here is 1 Kerbal, that's 1.8 per Kerbal. Do we have anything else? These things, 2 for 1 per Kerbal. 1 per Kerbal, yeah, that's about the same. So, all of these, what is this one? 3.6, that's more than 1 per Kerbal. So, in terms of a pod that you can use, we are going to look at this pod first, because for every Kerbal that I want to carry down, it's going to cost me 0.66 tons. Metric tons. Whatever tons. I don't even know what tons. 0.66. Let's just say 0.66. 660 kilograms. So, 660 kilograms per Kerbal. I know that I skipped one over. We're going to come back to it. We're totally going to come back to it. God, come on. We're trying to learn things here. Let's see what we can do. Yes, everybody's skipping ahead. I know I skipped one. We'll go back to it because I want to prove a point, right? I totally want to prove a point. We've got this pod, which is a landing pod. Chat, shut up. Yes, I know that everybody uses the freaking command chair, which is 0.05 per Kerbal. Let me walk into it. Yes, I know that we can do that, and we can carry a Kerbal for 0.05. Heck, let's put them on ladders with boxes around them, and that'll be even less. I totally know that we can do that. You totally spoiled it. I wanted to walk into it, and I'm still going to walk into it. Because what you normally see, now that the cat's out of the proverbial bag, what you normally see on these Eve landers are command chairs. Because with the command chair, every Kerbal that you carry in a command chair, 0.05 versus 0.66. 0.05 versus 0.66. So, what we're going to do, we're going to try to build a rocket with this and see what it takes to get this up to 12,000 meters per second of delta V. And then we're going to come back and do something with command chairs and see if we can do that more efficiently. So, smash, I'm not really mad. Yes, Galactor, the Kerbal's weight does get added, but a Kerbal only weighs 0.09. So it's 0.05 plus 0.09, so you get 0.14 as opposed to 0.66. So still, it's a lot cheaper. Everybody's skipping ahead. It's still a lot cheaper. I put it to everyone in this chat, would you volunteer to land on Eve with a lawn chair for the ascent? CCSP2G, I know space engineers. I focus on this game, though. Alright. Let's build a freaking rocket. Let's build a rocket. And I saw somebody tell us something very awesome. Right now, this pod weighs 660. But remember, this pod comes with something we might not need. Monoprop. Let's see how much weight we save by taking this 15 units of monoprop. See, right now it's 660. We can remove it, and we'll actually save 60 kilograms. Doesn't sound like much. That's just under 10% on 660. So, yeah, that's right. It's just under 10% on 660. So I'm going to take the monoprop out of that. That was a great idea, whoever put it in chat. Let us see. Well, there we go. All right. We will continue on. Lander pod away. That's what we're trying to do. And then we're going to show why we would go maybe with the command seats instead of the pod. But let's start off with something that looks real, right? Something like this that looks real. As opposed to, let's just start slapping lawn chairs together and put balloons on top and then, like, say we're going to go up to the little plateau area where the dog barks at you and it's like, squirrel! Like that sort of stuff, right? That's not how we want to get there with the lawn chair. That was an entire house, though. Whatever. There was a dude in California who flew around in the lawn chair and got fined by the FAA. All right. Anyways, so we already saved 60 kilograms. That's great. That's great. Iron Hawks. Why would I take the monoprop down and back up when the ship that remains in orbit could have the monoprop and do the docking? That's probably a really good idea. Why would you take the capacity to go down to the surface and back up again when you could just get this guy into orbit and do the rendezvous using a ship that stays in orbit and not carry RCS down and back up again just for doing docking? You've got two ships in orbit. One's going to go down and come back up, and weight is at a premium. The other one's just going to chill up here. Leave your RCS and your control authority up here on the mothership. Have a probe core or something, right? Have one of our little construction bots go out and retrieve this guy. There's a lot of things that we can do that does not involve carrying stuff down to the surface of the planet that's only ever going to be used in orbit. Good idea, but it makes a lot more sense is that you can do, yeah, there you go. This one SSTO, the only size I've seen do it with single engine, cheated way more than this. He used 160 massless parts. Nice. This is not cheaty at all because it's a paper airplane. Monev is talking about what we did. Monev is talking about our paper airplane from last night. So there were some massless parts and massless solar panels and stuff like that, but it was too much fun. I mean, it's a paper airplane in the first place. If somebody wants to link up the paper airplane, we had too much fun. And I am gonna take the KSA paper space plane to Eve and see how it flies at Eve. Can we put a string around a Kerbal and a yo-yo him back up? Yes, Tarling. We're just gonna spin him up really fast and then throw him into orbit. That'll totally work. Let's build a rocket. We're going to need light lifters. We're going to need light everything, basically. Let us see what we can do here. I'm just going to start with really light things like these tanks. Eve versus Ion engine. Eve would probably win. There's not enough thrust, really. You'd have to fly forever and have a lot of lift way up in the upper atmosphere. Let us put, right? Let us start by looking at this. The problem with this is weight is at a premium. Fuel is okay, but things that weigh too much are completely going to be at a premium here. So, what we need, that's why it's called the Ion Space Plane. It's not called the Ion SSTO. Gotcha though, Monev. Could you make it go to Monev? Could you make it go to that? Planning the mission. Oh, airball. No, it'll totally be executed. I should change it to planning and executing or something. It is doing a mission. So, I'm going to stop reading chat. This engine right here, not too bad. Let's go ahead and do atmospheric, and let's start with Eve. So it has enough thrust to weight, but its delta V is pretty low. The problem is, remember we've talked about this before. This engine right here, mass 0.5, thrust 50. Mass 0.5, thrust 50. Remember this little dude, mass 0.1. So you get 5 of these for one of those. Thrust 30. So all you need, instead of carrying that extra 0.4, you could just put one of these guys on, and that should look good. We've already got 2399 meters per second of delta V. So that's a good start. That's a good start. A turbojet and a tank. Nice. Okay. I switched it. I did switch it. I totally switched it. All right. Let's see here. So we've got this. Let's just start with this, right? We'll also need some method of making power. So we'll figure that out. So let us see what we can do to get this number way up. Whoa! That was loud. Who was that? Where's my thing? Wait, why is my window not up? There we go. Who was that? Janice Elveron, remember to drink. Thank you for not only reminding me to drink, but paying for my drink. I do appreciate it, Janice. Thanks for the donation. Thank you so much for that. So we've got Taxos and Janice Elveron so far with the donations. You're going to get a flag planted on Eve with your name on it. When I get to Eve, we'll be good to go. When I get to Eve, we will put all the donators by the time we get to Eve on the flag out there. Thank you, Janice. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Power and landing legs. Power and landing legs. That would be good. We're not going to put them on this. We're not going to put them on this. Let's build the entire rocket that has 12,000 meters per second of delta V first. Have some standardized factors for thrust ISP to see how effective the engine actually is. You could, Optimarad. You could have something like that. You could have something like that. Let's see here. I'm not going to go through figuring it out right now, but we've got this. We need to add more delta V, so let me just start adding delta V to it. You're definitely going to want to go with drop stages. You're going to be wanting to use all of your engines all the time. And thrust weight 0.99. I could actually put a little bit more fuel in this stage, maybe. This is going to get us way up there. Burn a minute 38. I don't know. Let's keep adding things here. So I wonder how small we can go. I wonder how small we could go to get this delta V. These things weigh 0.025 each. I'm not sure if this is going to work. Again, I have not designed this rocket. I am going to be using these. How much delta V could we get just adding things like this? And what if we asparagus it up? So that right there is... Let me go to compact mode. That right there is 0.83, 1829. Oh, and let me turn off show all stages. There we go. Okay. So that's 4168 if we run these things in series, right? We run these two engines first, then we ditch them, and then we light this engine. We will get 4168. What if we run them, because that's not enough to take off. The thrust to weight is too low to take off there. That's a problem. So, what if we make them asparagus, and we run the fuel from there to there? 4128, we've actually got to activate this engine too. So we got more thrust to weight, but we didn't get any more delta V from doing that. We basically just got more thrust to weight, so that's enough to take off. Whoa, ride car! I want to go to Eve one day, so we'll be watching this intently. Not sure I dare risk a landing and return, though. Dude, ride car, we'll get you to Eve. You're in Kerbal Space Academy. You're totally enrolled. You're here all the time. We will get you to Eve, ride car, and thank you for the 1 month subscription. I appreciate it. That is really cool. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That just... Yes, awesome. All right. Let's see here. Let's keep doing this. Let's keep adding things asparagus here and see what we get. Das is doing asparagus. I remember I did asparagus before. Let me add some more of these and see how this goes. That's not asparagus. That's everything feeding to the middle. So let's see. Let's see if this is going to help us. 4938. That's not right. We're going to ditch this first here. Which one is it? No. Okay, we're going to ditch that one first. 5189 with 1.32 on the surface. So 5189 with 1.32 thrust to weight on the surface. We're getting there. We're just doing an asparagus setup, right? It's the normal asparagus setup where we have this tank, all engines firing at the beginning. This tank goes first. When it's empty, It's actually emptied by all the other engines. They're only eating out of this. When this one's done, we drop it. We get rid of the weight and its engine, and then we just use these 3 engines feeding out of this stage. Then when these tanks are done, we drop them, and we just have the central stage left completely full of fuel because we're asparagus staging it. Let's do some more. Let's do some more. Let's see how cheaty McCheaterson this thing looks. We'll do the same thing here. We'll add fuel lines going like that. And then we will fix this up. We're going to ditch that one first. Let's see what that gets us. We're up to 5,900. We're starting to see diminishing returns. We're starting to see diminishing returns from the asparagus staging. Let's see what else we've got. Did I stage that correctly? Yeah, it looks like it. Dude, Combaticus EUW and AO and TMT Brody and Rex Games. I missed Rex Games. No, that was a while ago. Okay. Can of Mafi. Can of Mafi? Is that something from someplace that I don't know? Is that something from something I don't know? So we're still getting Delta V. We're up to 5,900 meters per second of Delta V. Let's add more. I think we may have to do something with those. Is there any way we could asparagus stage these this way? It doesn't really look like it. It doesn't really look like it. What if we do something like this? That's that. That's going in. Dude, Camlo JXP, thanks for the follow. We're doing Kerbal Space Academy, designing something that can take off from the surface of Eve. And again, we're just playing around with this. We're seeing how far we're going to get going with this asparagus nonsense. Let's see here. That right there is 6,446 that we're up to now. I'm just continuing to add these things. I want to see how far I can go. This is not the final design. Now we've got that. Now let's put that there. How does this work? 6,889. So now we only got 400 from that one. Every time we add one of them, we get diminishing returns. We get very diminishing returns. So somebody's saying, when I'm done asparagus, I like doing square spirals. Easier to draw than decide. No, Cantab, I know. I'm playing around. I'm just putting these things out here. J-Dude, we are not putting any RCS on this. We are not putting any RCS on this. We are not even worried about that. Yeah, we're not worried about getting home yet. First, we're doing the Delta V. We're just doing the lander first, and that honestly looks a little bit ridiculous. We're going to get diminishing returns, and I honestly don't think that this design would ever get us there. I know it's putting it out to the side like this, but let me see. That one added 372. If we add another one here, that is going to get us what? That one added 322. We're up to 75. We could do this asparagus stuff all day long, and I don't think that this would ever get us off Eve. I don't think that this would work. It would just take too long. You'd have to add too many, and every time you get diminishing returns, you'd have like a 500-part ship, and it wouldn't get you up into orbit. So we're gonna have to rethink this a little bit. Let's take all that off. That right there is 5,000, which is a great start. That is 5,000, and we only have 0.5 tons. We only have 0.5 tons. With 4, you're right. Yep, that is what we're gonna do. That is what we're gonna do. Now let's add something to the bottom of it. Instead of just asparagus these things, add info and item, let's add some more to the bottom of it and see what we can get. What if I just add? Dude, Trickster, 1801, thanks for the follow. 1081 is what I meant to say. Thanks for the follow. Kerbal Space Academy, designing an Eve return mission. That right there is a great start, 5186 Delta V. Let us see if we can't add some bigger things down here at the bottom. What if we put something like that? That's not a great lander. That is definitely not a great lander unless it has an insanely wide wheelbase. So let's see here. A single poodle lander never made it beyond 1 meter on Eve. Salmon, that's exactly what we're going to do. That's exactly what we're going to do, lander. Stack decoupler with cubic octagonal strut, you can save. Wait, when you use the TR2V stack decoupler with cubic octagonal strut, you can save 9 kilograms per decoupler. R. Bremer, that's not a bad idea, dude. You miser, you. So R. Bremer is saying that instead of doing this right here, what we could do was roll our own decoupler, basically, by doing that and grabbing this part here. Let's see here. That part right there, the TR2V stack decoupler. Like that. So if we did it like that and we put asparagus stages on that instead, the combination of the Cheaty cubic octostrut plus this weighs 0.015, whereas the stack decoupler we're using weighs 0.215. So we would actually save 0.01. We would save 10 kilograms per decoupler, which when you get to too many, that's actually not bad. But I'm not going to worry about that. Using the octo struts to do that is a little bit cheaty, not going to lie, so let's not do that. Let's continue with this. Somebody said that we need an engine that has really good efficiency when it's in a very thick atmosphere. So let's look at our engines. Let's look at our engines and see what we can find. We all know that these turbojet engines have really great efficiency in atmosphere, right? Look at this. 800. That's not too shabby. This one here is 2,000 at sea level. So the thicker the atmosphere, the more efficient it is. The problem is the atmosphere on Eve does not have oxygen in it, so we can't use the jet engines. They're out. We would need to have intakes. Intakes would be scooping up non-oxygenated air. I would have no oxidizer to use with these jet engines, so I can't use those. Let's look at some other engines. 280, that's terrible. 320, we're probably not going to send this 10-ton monstrosity down to Eve. These things here, 290, nope. The ion engine, 4200, that would be pretty interesting, but it gives you almost no thrust, right? 0.2, that's not a good lifter. Or 2, actually, 2 kilonewtons of thrust. That is not a good lifter. 2 kilonewtons, so we're not going to go with an ion. We can't use these. We've got no oxygen. This one right here, 250 is terrible. 300 is okay. 300 is okay. 380 on the aerospike, right? Remember, I'm looking right here. At sea level efficiency is 388. That's actually really good. That's actually really good. So let's do this. Let's put one of these down here just so we remember it and continue with our search. The ant. What is this? An engine for ants? This engine's ridiculous, first off. But it is 220. That's terrible. This one is 220. That's also terrible. Those engines make up for it with very, very light masses, right? They're for little satellites and stuff like that. 300, not good. 220, not good. 320, okay. 320, 320, 290, 270, 320. You know something? Looking at all these engines, even let's look at the solid boosters. The solid boosters are 230. They weigh a lot too. That's 225. Let's look at the big one, 230. I've just gone through, well, these things, I guess. 100. That's terrible. I've just gone through all the engines, and the best engine for efficiency, the best rocket engine that doesn't require oxygen in the atmosphere for efficiency in atmosphere is the aerospike. So, does it weigh a lot? 1.5. It's a little weighty, but that 388 ASL efficiency, ISP, specific impulse, is probably going to be a winner. Let's have a look at this, though. Let's have a look. Let's take out all these worthless stages. There we go. All right. Very light empty. They're very light empty, but they're very heavy full. They're very heavy full, and they have very bad efficiency in atmosphere. So I wouldn't want to carry very heavy SRBs that are inefficient in atmosphere on an interplanetary trip. That's where I was going with that. Let's see here. So that's only 0.7. The aerospike can't actually lift up that fuel tank and that. Let's see what we can do if we add more aerospikes. 0.36. Ah, the aerospikes are in the wrong stage. There we go. 1.27 now that we've got 3. What if we add more? 75.32. So that is very good. That's pretty good thrust to weight. Then these guys aren't going to have... What is that going on there? That's weird. Oh, because we're missing a decoupler. There we go. 8172. We're climbing our way up. But I'm just firing all these aerospikes at once. Maybe there's a better way. Maybe there's a better way. What we might need to do is look at asparagusing these as well. Now, I really don't like how wide this lifter is. So maybe I would do something like this. It's too tall, is what I meant to say. It's too tall. Let's take all these tanks off, and let's switch them out for the other tanks that have the same capacity, but are pancake-rific, right? Like that. So let's put an aerospike on him. That's 0.82. Then we could go around these shenanigans and put more of them on. It's basically a launch pad. That really doesn't look too great, but it's basically a launch pad, right? Let's see here. What else could we do? 8172. Let's try to decouple these things first. Let's try to decouple them. Let's just take those off. Let's put decouplers on. And let's go with an onion stage sort of setup, right? Let's see what that does for us. We will put this right here. If you don't know what onion staging is, you're about to learn. If I were to put 4 of those on there, decouplers like this, and then put these like that, and then take fuel lines and make not asparagus staging but onion staging, where every one of these tanks feeds the center tank, so the center engine will pull fuel from all of them. That would give us, that's not right at all, we would ditch that. There we go. That would give us 1.42 on the surface. 0.82, that's not great. That's not enough to keep lifting us off of Eve. That stage right there has to be greater than that. It definitely has to be greater than that. Let's see what else we've got here. Next it'll be broccoli staging, says Smeghead. I wonder. That would need to carry less fuel in that stage. One aerospike cannot support that tank. We're up to 8774. We're closing in on 12,000. We are closing in on 12,000. I wonder if we could do something like this. Let's see here. There's a scheme called Twisted Candle Staging. What? It's 1.42, enough to take off. Quantitas, yes, is as most as it is, or sorry, as long as it's over 1.0, I do have it set to Eve as the reference body, so 1.42 will be enough to take off. We definitely probably want it higher, though, because we want to get the heck out of that thick atmosphere as fast as we can. We really do want to get the heck out of that thick atmosphere as fast as we can. So, let's look at this. Let's do a couple different designs here. Instead of these, we'll keep these. Actually, we'll just ditch the entire shenanigan. What if we go like this? What if we carry more fuel? Where is it at? One of the problems with this design is that the center stage, right? You don't have nodes, you don't have attachment points on the bottom of the aerospikes. You can't actually attach more things to the bottom, so that'll make it difficult to attach this to an interplanetary ship, right? We could always flip it over. 12K includes circularizing. That includes circularizing. Let's look at this. I'm just going to play around here for a second. What if we use a stage that looks like that in the middle? And what if we do more aerospikes like this? We can put those on there. Maybe this is too many. I don't know. Because then we could do that. Let's get rid of these aerospikes, actually. Then we could, let's move it down a little bit, right? That is actually not bad for a lander, honestly. So let's go with this. Let's go the center tank feeding fuel to the outside, like that. That right there with those 4 aerospikes gives us 1.59 on the surface. And we'll add even more. Let's see here. How can we make it look cool? Double aerospike in center plus maybe drop tanks. Double aerospike in center plus maybe. I've got 4 aerospikes. So this is going to keep us on a higher thrust to weight. Let's see how this goes. Maybe we'll drop some of those aerospikes. Maybe we'll drop some aerospikes. With LVN clusters to avoid fairing hassles. Interesting. I'm trying not to read the chat as much because let's keep going with this. So we're right now at 7506. Do I have that going in the right way? Yes. We need more fuel. So let's do that. What about these radial decouplers again? And what about something that'll allow us to do this sort of number? Let's see what this looks like. I don't actually know. I'm trying to make it both look fashionable and that clips. That's a problem. We can't do that. I don't want to carry anything that doesn't have fuel. So I was thinking, you know, my normal thing, like, oh, well, why don't we just do this, DOS? Well, because that is extra weight that we don't want to carry. We don't want to carry the extra weight of these things because they are not going to do anything for us, really. If we could even do it. Yeah, I was not even going to let us do it anyways. Let's see here. Structural pylon weighs 0.2. That decoupler pays 0.025. So we're not going to use these. We could get some standoff if we use these, but those weigh too much. Those definitely weigh too much. So we're not going to use those. And I'm trying to make a stylish lander too, right? I want to make it look cool. I don't just want to go for the same slap-together lander that you always see going to Eve. I'm trying to figure out a way that I could do this without using extraneous parts. 2 aerospikes in the same tank. No, I know what everybody's telling me. But I'm playing around. I'm trying to see things here, right? I totally understand that we could put 2 aerospikes on the tank and the da-da-da-da-da. I want to play with it and see how this is. I do want to play with it and see how this is. see what we can get. And maybe what we're doing is we're carrying too many aerospikes. Maybe we need to ditch them. I'm not even sure. But let's go with this for now. And we will circle back around. I almost wonder if it makes any sense. I almost wonder if it makes any sense to carry nukes on this. Because the nukes are very efficient when they're not in atmosphere. But I don't know the atmospheric gradient. I don't know how quickly the atmosphere drops off. And the nukes are so heavy. I wouldn't want to carry a nuke all the way up into Eve's atmospheric orbit. Let's see here. Let's go and do this. What is the weight of that? That's very low weight. What if we did... How much do those decouplers weigh? Let me look. They weigh 0.05, whereas the radial decouplers weigh half of that. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, we are, Hook. That's exactly right. We are. I am leading you through my thought process. I'm trying to design the ship, right? I don't just want a design that already knows works because somebody else has done it. It's been a long time, and I'm using parts that I have never used before, right? That we used to not have. So let's see here. Let's see here. I'm trying to do something like this because I wanted to put these things on, but not so that they clip and not so that they have problems. See, that's actually okay. Yeah, I really do think that nukes would be dead weight for most of the ascent. So see, look at that. Then we've got that. We could do this, then we could or we could onion this, right? So we've got all these engines firing at the beginning. We could totally onion this. We could go from here up to there, right? That gets us to 9,000. That gets us to 8,960. So that's actually not that bad. This stage doesn't really look great. Need to place EVA ladders. Yes, yes, yes. We will definitely get to the ladders. We will definitely get to the ladders. Let's see here. That's 8,960 for that design. I really want to try something different because I want it to look cool. How much does one of these cost us in terms of weight? 0.04. So that's already more than the decoupler. But let's see how high we can get this. It's really too bad we can't decouple those things. This may not be the most efficient design just because these parts to allow this to happen. Oh, that's definitely not the way to do it because that's going to keep the weight on the craft. Remember, these stack decouplers decouple along the way the arrow is, so this side will stay coupled, the other side will decouple, and we wouldn't want to be carrying 0.05 weight up with us after we've used it to decouple something. We would not want to be doing that. So we could then do something like this. And again, I am making this from scratch, and I'm trying to make it look cool too, right? Because I don't just want your mom's Evelander. That is not looking terrible. What if you onion stage the lower part with the upper part? I think we would have trouble getting the upper part. That would give us some additional thrust. Cubic struts, that's cheating. That's cheating, right? Everybody hide your gliders! Would a 6-way asparagus hurt or help us here? Let's keep going. Let's keep going with this. Let's keep going and see how high we can get with this design right here. So we will just put... I'm not really too terribly concerned about that. So let's do that. 93.56. 93.56, but only 0.9, so we need the extra arrow spikes on there. We definitely need the extra arrow spikes on there. So we could we could do... That's more wasted space though. See, this is where you get into the fact that the classy looking design is not very efficient. The classy looking design is not very efficient. But let's see if we can do it. You know something? If we make a classy looking Evelander, maybe that's what we need. Derpologist, that's a good question. Onion is where all the outside tanks leave at once, and asparagus is when the outside tanks drop off in pairs. Basically, long story short. So an onion stage, all of these outside round tanks would drop off at the same time. An asparagus stage, this one and that one would drop off, and then this one and that one would drop off. That is the difference between those things. So could we... See, this is going to cost us a little bit more weight to do this. Attachment point, 0.04, that is weight that we don't really want to carry, right? Plus we have the symmetry issues, so let's go ahead and take that guy, put him like that, grab this, put it nice and flat, then grab it and put it back. Learn that trick, y'all. It is a very useful trick. There we go. You see where I'm going with this, right? Let's try to put some arrow spikes on there. Not bad, not bad. Alright. Yeah, air intake engines do not work on Eve. That is exactly right. Air intake engines do not work on Eve. So now we've got 9055, and because we added that on there, we actually have a little bit of wasted space. It's a little bit lower. We're still 3,000 short. We're still 3,000 short. Now remember. What would be the circumstance that would force you to use asparagus or onion? Taking off of Eve, basically. Taking off of Eve. No, Luis, I'm not going to look at that. I'm not going to look at that. I don't just want the same old Eve design that everybody else has done. I'm not going to look at those things. We're building it from scratch so we can kind of learn how to build it. This right here, I'm thinking, usually asparagus would be more effective. Onion is simpler. I would be scared if I saw that coming at me at rapid speeds. Nice. You know, I wonder if we could do something like this. I mean, a skipper would be pretty heavy, but would a skipper... How is the efficiency on a skipper? I'm playing around here. 320 ASL. So not terrible. 320 ASL on a skipper, and it weighs 3 tons. I wonder if I could do something like this. There's just not going to be room for a skipper underneath here. Yeah, the skipper's just too darn big. The skipper is definitely too darn big. Alright, all the asparagus and onion talk is making you hungry. Slap a big old LFO booster on the bottom. Yeah. Do you figure you have 30 minutes before takeoff? It's probably going to take us more than 30 minutes before we take off. It is probably going to take us more than 30 minutes before we take off. I mean, that right there... Could we do something like a big decoupler? Let's see here. I'm not looking at yours, Luis. I don't want a craft that somebody's already built. If somebody wanted a craft that people have already built, they could just go look on YouTube or Imager or the forums or something like that. We're going through the thought process, and I don't just want to plagiarize ideas that other people have already done. Doesn't the Rapier engine... Oh, Mona, let's check that out. I usually don't like the Rapier at all. 1.2, 190 thrust. 320. No, the Rapier has about the same efficiency as everything else. The Rapier's not very much thrust. What's up, Tempest? How's it going? Sacrifice some more of the thrust... Sacrifice some more of the top stage thrust to weight for Delta V. You've got 1.25. That'll be the circularization stage. That's actually not a bad point. That is actually not a bad point, Cybertech. That's not a bad point at all. 0.99, yeah. So we could put more fuel in the top stage. Let's see how that affects it. Cybertech, that's a good idea. That's going to make this number go down. And I don't think I want that number to be any less than 1.5. But let's see what we can do. Let's take this off. Let's see if we can't add a little bit of fuel to it. That didn't really add that much. That's 0.61 with 1.89 now, right? That's 0.61 with 1.89. So that didn't really save us too much. Could we do something like this? Let's look. Could we do something like this? This is not a good idea because those tanks have really bad collision meshes. 9417 putting it there. 9417 putting it there. That's interesting. How does that affect everything? 0.59 to 0.53. That doesn't even affect the thrust to weight. Oh, there you go. 1.25. Oops, I missed it. 0.82. So 0.99, 0.82. That may be a solution right there. Cybertech, that's actually a pretty good idea. That's actually a pretty good idea. Are the small tanks staged to drop before or after the larger outside tanks? Let's take a look. The first thing, all the arrow spikes will light. Then these things will take off. Those will stage out, dropping away, and we'll just have these 4 arrow spikes with this engine. And then this is just one sort of stage there. It is over 9,000. It is over 9,000. Oh, Tempest, I gotta see that. The mini version of the paper airplane. I love it. We totally made it. Put those on the outer drop rather than the inner on those littles. Put those on the outer drop. Oh, put them on the first drop. That's going to block the cabin door, which I don't like, but we'll get to that. That's probably not a good idea, or that's not a bad idea. Plus, then we already have 0.125, so we could probably do something like this on that middle stage. 0.88, 0.99, 0.99, 9604. This is so close. So close. So close. It really is. Luis, I'm going to ask you to leave the channel if you keep telling me what to do, dude. Seriously, we're trying to figure this out. I know you go to Eve all the time. I know it's kind of your bag. We're walking into it. Before you got here, we totally had a discussion about the command chair versus a pod, and we wanted to build a non-cheaty lander, right? Because strapping a long chair to a rocket and going down to Eve is not that impressive, honestly, right? It's totally cheaty. You wouldn't do a real space mission like this. You would do a real space mission like this. So that's why we're trying to design it and see how close we can get. Honestly... Das, what constraints are you working on? Must make this a pyramid? I don't know. Must make this a pyramid. We're at 1.49 right now. We would totally have to figure out this staging, but I know some ways that we can fix it. It is definitely blocking the hatch. It is definitely blocking the hatch. Put 4 OP engines on the bottom tank. 4 OP engines on the bottom tank. Let's see here. I wonder... There's no way to do that without cheating, though, right? Because cubic octostruts are totally cheating. What could we fit in here? Is there anything that we could fit in here? I really think it looks neat, too. We'll fix this at the top. We will fix this at the top. We will totally fix this at the top. Swap it around having the smaller tanks in Stage 2. That'll still be in the top atmosphere when the thrust to weight will be required. Maybe so. Let's see here. Yeah, exactly. Lord of Light, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not worried about that because that's an easy fix. What if we do that? That's 0.99. And that 0.88, 0.82, then 0.99. Really, it's looking like we need that one. We need to take thrust to weight out of there and put it in the other. That's 95 though. That's 94.17. Let's see here. No, the command seat getting out of Eve is cheaty, Luis. I know you can do that, but it's totally cheaty, and we're trying to do it the right way. We're trying to do it the right way. This is totally... Whenever I use a small stack decoupler on a larger stack because it's the top payload, yeah, but Naka Flocka, we are definitely going to strut it in. We're going to do some things like this to strut this in like that. So we'll be okay with that. That's a good eye. That is a good eye. All right. Yeah, Luis, everybody knows that you're a huge cheater who does nothing but cheat your way up and down off of Eve. Totally cheaty. You would never have an astronaut exit an atmospheric planet in a lawn chair. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I'm giving you a little bit more trouble than I should be probably. Because I do appreciate you, Luis. And I know you do. Eve is kind of your bag. Eve is kind of your bag. Luis has made lots of designs that go to Eve. I will not give him any trouble about that because he definitely knows what he's talking about. But he's cheating. He's cheating. He is definitely cheating all the time. That's all he does is cheat, 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 cheat. It looks like something that falls from the sky. It is going to fall from the sky because remember, we have to land. And to land, we need chutes. And that's going to take up Delta V. In fact, this design here is probably really terrible. It is probably really terrible. Because check this out. You want the central last part, lower thrust weight about 0.8, 0.7. Yeah, these guys up here, I don't want to spend too much time worrying about that, but yes, we could totally do something like this. Let's just put one of these in here. Right? That's not bad. 0.75, 0.937675. That's not bad, and that's 950.33. Does have no barn. What does that mean? Luis is a cheater. Wait, somebody make a Luis is a cheater. Luis is a cheater. You're using a pod. In the description it says it's not safe for atmospheric landers. I wouldn't go to that in Eve. Cheating yourself. I would ride car. I would actually go to Eve in this pod with a big structure around it. I wouldn't go in a small structure, but if I had lots of stuff around this pod, I would be okay going to Eve in this pod. I would be okay going to Eve with a parachute-based atmospheric lander. That's a fair point, though. That is a fair point. That is a fair point. I think that this design, while it looks cool, is going to have problems. Because, look, we're going to need a place to mount chutes, right? And if we want to mount the big chutes, like these, we're going to need places on the stack to mount them that we don't have to take them home. So, ooh, that's a good idea, actually. Luis is a cheater! DOS 2014, having my fun. I like it. I like it. You don't need chutes. Is it feasible to make the first couple launch stages totally SRBs? I don't think... Oh, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. That's actually not a bad... That's actually not a bad idea. Let's see here. I think that this is not a great design with these things like this. Because not only do we have the extra weight of these... I think it's just going to be more efficient to do it this way. Take these things off. I like how it looks, right? I do like how it looks. But this design using the same engine with the same amount of fuel is probably going to have more thrust to weight. It's probably going to have more... Sorry, not thrust to weight. It's probably going to have more delta V if we do it like this. Right? So now we've got those. Now we've got those. And this is really simple to route the fuel on. There we go. Alright, 9404, but that's only because we don't have this extra fuel in here. Remember, we use these tanks on top. Why is it not? That is not good that it's not attaching there. Come on. Okay. That's 9537. 9537. 50 SRB will have a problem there. Unless you time them. Is there a difference in weight between that pod and, say, the cupola? Yeah, Cybertech. We went through at the very beginning. We went through the mass per Kerbal, right? The mass per Kerbal. And the cupola is 1.8. It's one of the worst mass per Kerbals. This pod is 0.66 per Kerbal. 0.66 per Kerbal. It says it was designed for lightweight, non-atmospheric landers and sees a single occupant. It doesn't say you can't use it in atmospheric landers. Can you use the smallest solid rocket boosters? I don't really think that we're going to go with solid rocket boosters. I don't think that that's a good idea. 9537. We're so close. We're so close. Why do we only have... Oh, look at this. We have staging wrong. Staging is wrong. Alright, now the staging looks correct. Then I'm going to ditch those and light all those. Then I'm going to ditch those and ditch those. Okay. Alright. Yeah, you totally missed it. We don't want to use octo struts. We don't want to use the little lawn chairs. We don't want to do any of that stuff. We definitely don't want to do any of that stuff. What if we use the Sepratron assisted takeoff? Sublime Fur, what's going on? Luis, you're not too bad. It's not cheaty. Kerbal goes and comebacks from Eve on another craft. This one is just a return to leave. I'll look at it. Let me look. Command chairs, cheaty, cheaty. Luis, you're not gonna win. I've got the microphone, man. What's up, Ren Phoenix? How's it going? I wonder. Planning what sort of? We're going to Eve. We're trying to make a lander that can get off of Eve. I wonder. 1.51, 9537. I wish there was an easy way to just take this to Eve and test it to see how close it is, right? I mean, we could totally do poor Luis. We are giving Luis an awful lot of trouble. We could totally put the chutes on there, and let's look at this. Where are the chutes at? Let me put the big chutes. I want to put some chutes on it just for ease of landing. 94, 98, 95, 37. Yeah, they barely take any delta V to carry those chutes. I'm fine with that. Construction time lets you do that. Lets you do what? Hyper edit. Cheaty. Cheaty. Still feel bad for any of them under them arrow spikes. Alright. I really wish that we could have... We're also going to have trouble with the... You should add one to the main body if you want to re-enter Kerbin in that pod. I don't want to re-enter Kerbin in this pod. To launch them LKO launch. Although if you want to test, limit all thrust to 50%, then do launch to LKL land launch again. What? Jeez. Jeez. Alright. Yes, we are totally doing that. It's getting off that's hard. Yes, we're correct. You all are definitely correct. How big is your main monitor? 27. Let's see here. What else can I do? I really like how this is looking. What else can I do to get this to wait? What would Sepratrons actually do? Just for the sake of giggling, what would Sepratrons actually add? 0.55. The Sepratrons actually add a lot of thrust to the beginning. We should totally have a Sepratron assisted takeoff. An extra tank underneath. No, this is actually atmosphere. How do you landing legs on your dorsal battery? Landing legs. Let's look at the landing legs too. I was thinking maybe we could, if we touch down slow enough, we could just use these. That's what I was thinking. Dirk Dingleberry, no giveaways tonight. Got a good idea for the future. What did Quantita say? What did Quantita say? You can deactivate. Wait, I'm missing something. Simulate other planets. Oh, it lets you simulate other planets. That's cool. That's pretty cool. Actually, that might be a good thing to install, just to simulate things. Huh. That might be a good thing to install. Thank you for saying that, for reminding me of that. So, I'm putting those like that. Could we have a drop tank here that gets used at some point? Let's find out. The staging is going to be messed up. That weighs 0.2, and the big stack decoupler weighs what? 0.4. It's so much more efficient to do this. And then another tank underneath. Let's see here. Again, for anybody just coming in, we're trying to make a non-cheaty lander for the place with the stuff. Now just remind him later. Yeah, that is an info mod for sure. That actually sounds really awesome. That sounds really awesome. That actually sounds really awesome. Dude, I almost need a message about that. Alright, so that's another tank that would drop when? I'm wondering if that's cheaty. I think if we use struts, it won't be cheaty. You can land on the aerospace. It's not best to take chances. Gravity on Eve is high enough that touching down to even 0.5 will break engines off the bottom. Interesting. Interesting. Alright. I hope his lander floats on a raspberry juice. Alright, let me get this figured out. Where is this decoupler? What if you strut them in? Has anyone ever tried to strut them in? Alright, that is not going to be the first thing to go. The chutes are definitely not going to be the first thing to go. The chutes are honestly going to be in a completely other stage, but I am going to put them in the very top stage for now. Just to act like we don't need them, and we'll have to fix them later. Alright. So, is this going to get us very much at all? 1.56 right now. Because we've got the Sepratron listed tank offs. Let's see here. I am going to need to drop that tank there. When? I need to focus. Before we light those engines. Should we drop that tank first, maybe? No, because things won't eat out of that tank. What is going to be the thrust weight of our interior stage if we put it after the external drop? Like that. 90-40, but that's because we're missing a fuel line. Let's see. We got to watch our thrust weights too. Because I could totally do this like this. I'll let me put on the dorsal side just for sake of sanity. We don't need 4 of them. We only need 1 going like that. 98-12. We're up to 98-12. Earthworm Slimithos, nice. No Kerbal left behind. Call it the DeLorean. That doesn't even make any sense, Tanner. That doesn't even make any sense. I am honestly really heavily leaning towards the Sepratron assisted liftoff. Just because. All right. So that right there would give us room for landing legs. Would we need the biggest landing legs? So, those are pretty big landing legs. Raise that earlier. Wait. A fair response. What was that says? Oh, the small pod. Yeah, Cybertech. I'm thinking the same thing. I'm trying to design with a lot of extra leeway, right? It's made of aluminum foil. Can't handle Oh, okay. Hey, wait a second. Hang on. I'll buy it, right? I made the rules. I'll buy it. Tossed. Command pod Mark 1. I'll do it. 9212. That cost us 800 meters per second of delta V. Wait, seriously? Look at this. Look at the difference between command pods. That one there. Look at this. Look at the big, huge difference that 0.2 tons makes. 9212, and if we ditch the monoprop, we get up to 9300. 9300 using that lander can. That's not the lander can. And then that right there, 9640, 98. It's 500 meters per second of delta V between those two different pods. That is amazing. That is 500 meters per second different. And look at the mass difference. This one weighs 0.66. That one weighs 0.84. It's not even 0.2 more. See how critical every ton, every point ton up at the top stage is? That is amazing that it's that much difference. I didn't even expect. I thought it would be a couple hundred, but not that much difference. So I'm probably find. Oh, delta V gradient. Thank you. I'm not going to look at it too much because I don't have it remembered off the top of my head. Delta V required 11280. Ah, so 1200. Wow, so we're really getting close. How would that work now with the Cheaty garden chair? All right, let's look at the Cheaty garden chair. We would just probably put a little bit more fuel in it or something like that. In here, actually, instead of that, let's use the little probe core, right? Here, we'll make Luis ride on this stupid thing since he thinks it's so cool to have a lawn chair. And then, yeah, oh yeah, here we go. We'll just put this dude up here like this because that totally seems legitimate. And then we'll do this. This is probably like 11,000 delta V. That right there is 12,000 delta V. And you see why it's so easy to be a Cheaty McCheaterson, right? Cheaty McCheaterson. That is why 2 pancakes and a poodle on the bottom. Some of the things we say in this game, 2 pancakes and a poodle on the bottom, huh? Look how cheaty that is. If Luis was playing this game, he could totally go to space using a probe core, and this probably has 13 or 14,000 meters per second of delta V as it stands right now. As it stands right now. Look how cheaty it is. Look how cheaty it is. Oh my gosh. Please name it the KSA Luis is a Cheaty McCheaterson. Ay. That's why it's so easy to do. Look, you could spam freaking Kerbals on this. Look at this. 12,000 meters per second of delta V. You could just be like, all right, that's still almost 12,000 meters per second of delta V. Look at that. We could just take them to orbit like that. It looks like one of those freaking amusement rides that shoots you up in there and then drops you all of a sudden. Oh, boy. But remember, this doesn't have the not a Kerbals on them, so let's put the not Kerbals on them and see how that is with delta V. To be fair, let's put 6 not Kerbals on there. These are Kerbal weight simulators. That's only 8. Wait, did I simulate them? Yeah, that's only 8,600 with the actual Kerbals attached. Not the ball. There is the green Kerbal mass. So look, if we had 6 Kerbals sitting up there, look at the difference in delta V. Kerbals do actually count for mass when they're sitting in those chairs. So, spamming that many of them on there is not as Cheaty McCheaterson. But let's put one on like we were doing. 11,189 with the not a Kerbal in there. So he could totally get there. Ride tickets are only 5 million Kerbucks each. Oh my gosh. All Kerbals will burn when entering the atmosphere. And they'll choke and they won't have enough supplies to get into orbit. I'm still gonna stick with not using the Cheaty McCheaterson way. I'll put this on. Let's see what the difference is. 9212. We've got to keep adding delta V. So some tricks. Let's look at some tricks here. Let's look at some tricks here. I will totally leave this way. We love you, Luis. We totally love you. We totally love you. 1,000,000 space bucks. Seems like you have super low stream latency. Thank you, Sushi. I appreciate that. Dude, Plenio Block, Spidey Pig Gaming in Boromakat. Boromakat 15. Thanks for the follows, y'all. We're trying to build a complicated lander that will go to Eve. Remove the monoprop. Thank you. So 9,300 meters per second right there. 9,300 meters per second. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. And remember, the only thing that's going to be left of this is this pod right here. That's all that's going to be left. 0.91, 1.61. All right. Let's show some tricks. Let's eke a little bit more out of this. Let's eke a little bit more out. Each one is 99 trillion Kerbucks. All right. Let's see what we can do here. Let's see what we can do. One thing that you can do, and I don't think that this is too terribly cheaty, we could actually put these decouplers on and attach our landing gear to the decouplers. Why would we want to do that? Check out those landing gear. They weigh 0.1 ton each, right? When we take those off, we get 9312. That's actually a lot less than I thought. 9300, that's 9309. Interesting, 9297. Huh. Can you put another stage on top between the pod and the tank? Brain fright, I don't know. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that. Progen Souls! Sorry if you don't like it. This is Kerbal Space Academy. If you want to see things blow up, there are other streams for that. But we're talking through the design of this rocket because people want to know the things to think about. That's why we do this. That is why we do this. Let's see if we can get these pieces off. And you see what we're doing there, right? We're basically just going to ditch those landing gear. They don't actually have fuel in them, so I think it's going to have some trouble actually doing that. Have a little impact early because it would be dropped quite early anyway. Yeah, that makes sense, Cantab. They would. They would. They would. That is a huge Eve lander. Holy shnikes, man. Jeez, oh Pete, that's a huge lander. That's a huge lander. Dude, face cereals and Skeletor Assassin. Thank y'all for that. I think what we're doing here... Dude, Luis, look at what we're doing already. We just put those on there. What did Cantab say? I suppose it's having little impact. Yeah, I agree, Cantab. I agree. It's having very little impact because they're dropped so early. In fact, what if we just dropped them right when that launched? It was 93 before, 9312. We would get 12 meters per second out of that. We would only get 12 meters per second out of that. And people that are complaining about the amount of time. I'll be serious about this, right? Complaining about the amount of time building. We're doing one of the most complicated builds in the game. This is like the end game for Kerbal Space Program. So if you're a beginner, you don't really know what's going on, you just want to see things explode. I appreciate that, and I do streams like that. But tonight's stream, the Eve return mission, is a huge deal. It's one of the most complicated things you can do in this game. So I appreciate y'all understanding that this is going to take us some time to build, especially since we're doing guest test and revise and talking through the build process, right? So let's see here. Maybe we don't need to worry about that because that only gets us 12 meters per second. I don't think that 12 meters per second is worth it. It would actually be, yeah, they're going to just drop so early it's just not worth it. Should we put an engine down here? I wonder. Should we put an engine down here, and is there anything to do? I love the building the most, yeah. Thank you, I appreciate that. I wonder if instead of carrying these Separatrons, I mean, I really like the idea of it, but what if we did something like this? Oops. Start over. Oops, let's see here. What if we did something like this? That's 1.36. I think those numbers are a little bit low. I don't think that this is cheating, but y'all let me know what you think. I don't think that a design like this would be cheating. I won't be able to fit it that way, will I? Huh. Because that also saves us the fuel lines. Let's put it down low so we can at least do it, and then we can put it back up, right? Then I can just take rid of those, get the same things. Like that, that's going to give us a lot more thrust, I think. Let's see here. If we get rid of this monoprop, that's 9210. If we get rid of that, that's that. These guys will only eat out of that tank, I wonder. It's tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning. Yep. The monoprop tanks, they're just for mounting. They're just for mounting without cheating. Another T800 with engines and legs, onion style, in place of the legs. Oh, that may make sense, Thader. That actually may make a lot of sense. I really like how compact this is looking, but what you just said may make a lot of sense. I really do like this, and I see an easy egress route, right? We can have a ladder come down that. I see an easy egress route, and I kind of like this design. That is a lot of space in there. I almost wish there was some way to have less space in there. Add monoprop thrusters at the bottom. No monoprop thrusters! Let me see where these are staged at right now. Okay, and these. 9139. That actually took away a lot of Delta V. 1.56, they're all staged at the bottom. but 1.56. That something's wrong with the staging, I feel like. I think that those guys will empty out, and that'll be a wasted space. That'll be a wasted space. Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. The actual other ones, the Oscar B tanks will not radially attach. They will not radially attach, and I don't understand why, but you can't surface attach them, see? So you could cheat by using an octostrut, but these don't surface attach. The monoprop tanks do surface attach, that's why I was doing that. Separatrons in that empty space area, angled so they look kind of flared out. Flaring is always a waste of space. How long more before we take off? I Punch Kittens quite a while, actually. It's going to be quite a while before we take this off. Again, this is one of the most complicated builds in the game. One of the most complicated builds in the game. So, I did kind of like that idea, where we were doing this. Plus, look, we could totally do it like this. We could totally grab these. We could put another step-raider stage and onion style it, right? We could put these like this. And remember what one of our big problems is going to be? Freaking stage separation. So we could do that. That begins to look like not a craft, though. That begins to look a little cheaty. In the gap, put stabilizers. We don't need that yet. What were we wondering? Hire new moderators. Whatever, Artron. We're fine. We're fine. These things are going to... Because, see, look, we can get rid of a lot of extra wasted space off that, and... Oh, they already have fuel lines going in, it looks like? No, that's not going to work, though. Like that. Alright. And then we're going to light all of our engines at the bottom. 4, 4, and 4. Okay. Alright, let's see here. We now have landing legs. The small tank clusters are actually single parts. Yeah, I don't know. That's annoying. Opa onion style. Nice. Alright. Then we're going to ditch the outer layer first. This actually looks a little cheaty. I wish we could keep it nice and compact. That's 10,155. 10,155. Small cubics. I know we could use those, but I'm trying not to use those. I'm trying not to use the cubic struts. Do several hundred non-return missions taking precisions over there and make a space elevator just by stacking stuff on top of it, right? Just by stacking stuff on top of it. So I wonder... I don't want it to look cheaty. I wonder if this is legitimate. That is a very aerodynamic rocket. A very aerodynamic rocket. It just looks a bit wide. Yeah. Could you move the outer corner tanks around the side of the inner corner tanks? The outer corner tanks around the side of the inner corner tanks and asparagus them. Let me look at this right quick. So we're going to drop all these first. Oh, and all those. It was already correct. That's 10,700 right there. Why does that feel like it didn't really add us any? It looks like some of those missed, maybe. I type it and you do it. Nice. I still think that this is kind of, Das, you say there's an optimal thrust to weight. Yes. I don't know. Gaffer, I don't know the optimal thrust to weight on Eve. I don't know the optimal thrust to weight on Eve. Eve is very hard. Stick the whole thing on a giant Kerbodyne tank and a quad engine cluster. I feel like these outer things are too cheaty. I feel like they really are too cheaty. Like, I kind of want the form factor to be no bigger than that, so we add stuff to the bottom. We add stuff to the bottom. What's the plan? UMC Hailfire, we are trying to make a lander that can get off of Eve that doesn't cheat. A lander that can get off of Eve that doesn't cheat. That is what we're looking for. Like Louise. So, we could get quite a bit of weight. In the mid rockets, put one more landing gear. You want a rocket that's not wider than it's high. Yeah. I agree with that. What if we put more fuel down here? I should have just put another tank to see how it would look. And what if we could fit another engine of some sort down here? I feel like it's going to need to be a little bit taller. Yeah, monoprop engines are really low. Yeah, they are bad. They are bad. Wouldn't micro landing struts save you? Yeah, but they wouldn't be enough to support the craft. The micro landing struts would not be a good idea because they wouldn't be enough to support the craft. I would just go like this. No, there we go. Come on. I do not want this thing to turn whatsoever. That's not going to connect. Oh, it connected. That's interesting. I would not expect that to connect like that. There we go. Now I can do it. Fork symmetry. Excellent. And I can look up. And you see how I'm doing this, right? No, I'm clipping through too many tanks. Did that work? Yeah, okay, that worked. That worked. Dude, Jake and Ophios, thank y'all for the follows. We are doing one of the most complicated things to do in Kerbal Space Program, which is get off of Eve. Get off of Eve. I'm okay with these thrust to weights up here. I'm okay with them. That thrust to weight seems a little bit low, honestly. I think the staging is wrong, maybe. Artron, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, we do. We usually put the, any need for legs at all? Yeah, Gav, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking that we would need it. Why aren't you using the smallest decoupler? That's a little too cheaty. I'm okay with the smallest decoupler being here, but between two big tanks like that, I would say that's a little too cheaty. GoldenEye, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Let's see here. 1.29. We don't have the... Oh, we're totally low right now because we don't have the fuel line. We're going to need to put another engine on the bottom, I think. I'm not worried about the landing legs because we can do a little bit of a landing. We can do a little bit of a powered landing. Like, just a little bit. Let's see here. I need a fuel line. That's what I was getting. We just need one of them, though. Alright, so we'll go like that, and we'll go like that. That's good, right? Yeah. 9630. We're at 9630 right now with that big tank, but we don't have enough thrust to weight. We're definitely going to need more engines. I was hoping I could get off with just those arrow spikes, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Hyper edit is not cheaty. Yeah, yeah, you got it. Jim's got it. Jim's got it. Master of Aardvarks, we are definitely going to Eve. We're definitely going to Eve. So how would... Let's look at some things here. Because the problem is that that tank is going to empty out if we put an engine on it. Yeah, if we put an engine on that, this tank's going to empty out. Too fast. 9451. 9333. None of those things help us at all. I think we're actually getting a lot of Delta V by just using the arrow spikes. Why did you switch to command pod? Because they told me it was cheating. Because we told me it was cheating. And I'm not... I mean, look, where would we be right now with the other pod? With the other pod right now, we would be... Oh, yeah, you gotta throw it away. My bad. With the other pod right now, we would be... 90, we'd be at 10,000. I would think we would be really close to a... Das, the fuel line should go up to the T800 to keep your asparagus correct. We could just drop that tank first, couldn't we? Yeah, we could just drop that tank first. Theta, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Just drop that tank very first thing. So let's see here. We could go from here, like Theta was saying. Those engines have such weird clipping zones. Did y'all see how they're always kind of trying to connect? We could go 4x symmetry from there over to this tank like that. 9828 right now. Oh, but that's with this one, and that's the staging is wrong. We would want to move this staging down like that. 9854, that gives us almost nothing. Wow. No, we're going to launch it from Kerbal, Goldie. This is a full mission. It's a full mission. That's why we started an hour earlier. 1.29. We get 835 out of that tank. Only 985. That's not great. Drop it on the surface. Take off without it. I don't think we're going to need that much landing burn, though. He'll fly it. Yeah, no, yeah. We're not going to stop this stream until this thing flies, if anybody's worried about that. If anybody's worried about that. I wonder. So that's 1.41 on the takeoff. But then we would go down, a lot. What if you launched it? That would be amazing. Derbologist, we know. Now add your engine on the bottom. I just don't think that those engines are going to help us, though. I'm going to say that we don't want it to be any wider than that. That's 1.37 on the takeoff. That's because it went to the wrong stage. It's so complicated. All right, 1.5 on the takeoff. 9802 total. Thank you. Drink, drink, drink. All right. I don't think that the atmospheric efficiency of the Poodle is getting us much. Right? 270 in atmosphere. The Poodle is not the engine to use there. The Poodle is definitely not the engine to use. That's 9824. Oh, it's in the wrong stage. 9796. That's even worse. That's even worse. What if you add the Separatrons to the lander can instead to either help with landing or takeoff? Adding engines may raise Delta V. What's up, Professor M? How's it going? You shouldn't need a landing bird. You'll be able to go back without the bottom tank. Yeah, we know that. The T-30 would outclass the Poodle in this role. Yeah, Cantab, that's a good point. That's a good point. Because of its 320, it's 320 and it's 1.25. I wonder, are we allowed to mount an engine in there, right? This is a waste. These structural parts, right? Like, I was just thinking, alright, DOS, what if we were to do something like this? The quad adapter, that weighs 0.2. And the problem is that if you put a quad adapter with 3 of these, 9786, where do those engines go? They always go into the wrong friggin' stage. 9761, that's actually less. DOS, are you going to empty the tanks of the lifters so you can get it off Kerbal and then refuel it in orbit before sending it to Eve, or are you just going to lift it off the lot in one go? Gaffer, I think I'm just going to lift it off in one go. This is actually a pretty small ship. I have an idea. Wait, I have an idea. Instead of that, those are going the correct way. Okay, wait a second. What if we did this? Let's just see how this affects it. Let's see how this affects it. Seems legit so far. Maybe we need to use a smaller tank. And because I'm trying not to cheat, right? Because I'm trying not to be too cheaty. $98.37. How does that barely change anything? Seriously? This game is so annoying sometimes. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now we have 1.66 on the takeoff, but we just don't get very much Delta V out of this stack here. So let's put more 1.7. I don't want it to be any lower. Dude, VW Reels, thank you for the follow. We're trying to design a lander that can get us off of Eve. Alright. 90, we're almost to 10,000 with that design. 1.61, that means we can put more fuel in those outer stages. We can totally put more fuel in those outer stages. So let's do this. Take that off. Let's use these guys down here. What do y'all think of this? What do you think of this plan that I'm going with here? That is not bad, and it keeps our thrust to weight way up. That is our takeoff stage. I almost think that we would want more on the top and less on the bottom, but I was going to go for a drop tank like this. Right? 10,264, 1.44 on the ground. DOS, you had 10k Delta V when you just added the fuel tanks without the structural parts. I don't know. Yeah, but we didn't have the thrust to weight. Mona Bobby, we missed the thrust to weight. We missed the thrust to weight on that. Interesting at the very least. I mean, I like it. I think it looks really cool. I really do think it looks good. 1.83. Now this interior stage, I think, maybe has too much so it launches itself, then you can refuel it. Nice. It may strike the engines on the outside. It may strike the engines on the outside. It may strike the engines on the outside. Engines on the outside may be struck. What are you talking about? I'm missing something there. I almost wish I could fit something in there. More fuel, maybe? Das Valdez, not sure if you got my... The function is delta V versus altitude for Eve. I saw that. You can use this combined with your displacement versus time to design your craft lighter. I think that may take us too much time for the stream. If you're planning on launching that in one go without... Oh no, Immortal Rich, this is going to be easy to launch. This craft barely weighs anything so far. It's like, what? 87 tons? I've got a craft...